And we are live. Welcome back for another stream, everyone. How are we all doing on this fine Friday? Good to have you all here. Hope you're all doing well. Every time I do one of these Friday deadline streams, right after it passes, there's always a few people on Discord absolutely fuming because they've missed the deadline. They thought it was Saturday. So well done that you're here, and that's not you, and you won't miss it. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you had a good week. Looking forward to the weekend ahead. Welcome to the stream, Brian. Edward, Ali, Joseph, Rooney, Behind Enemy Lines, Lulama, Mahir, Marivia, Hussein, Sam, and many others. Welcome to the stream. Loads to talk about today, lots prepared to discuss. I've made all my moves already, so I suppose I should get that out of the way first. I'm on a -8 hit, so I've made 4 moves. I had 2 transfers banked after rolling last week, so I've made 4 moves. So what were my moves? I did Patterson to Tarkowski, Shaw to Alexander-Arnold, Bruno to Salah, and Kane to Darwin. So that was a -8, and I very, very rarely take -8s, but it feels like one of those weeks where you can get away with it. Is the music playing? That's really quiet. Can you hear that? Oh, there it is. Yeah, it feels like it's one of those weeks where you can get away with a -8 because it's both a blank and a double. So, you know, for example, I'm getting rid of Bruno, who's got no game, and I'm bringing in Salah, who's got 2. So it's so easy to justify hits for players like that. Patterson's really annoying because he was first choice, obviously, when Lampard was around and he got that long-term injury. And now Coleman's been smashing it, so Coleman's first choice there. We'll cover the news in a minute, but there's a Patterson setback anyway, so I don't think it's anywhere near this game week. Maybe gets a cameo against Arsenal. But yeah, in the end I took a -8. I had to get rid of Patterson as well. Otherwise I didn't have 11 players even. And the other thing at the back of my head was Gameweek 28, where Everton are guaranteed to play. So I wanted to think ahead there and make that move. If you watch my team selection video, I was looking at Almiron to McNeil. But in the end it was Patterson to Tarkowski, because if I get McNeil, there's a fair chance he ends up leaving the team for someone like Mitoma or March when they've got a double in 27. So that was why that one move was different, but the rest is the same. Captain Ødegaard or Gakpo, asks Josham. Ødegaard for me. Interestingly, Ødegaard has 6 double-digit returns this season, and only Haaland has more. I think Haaland's got 7 or 8. So yeah, if you catch Ødegaard in a good week, you're absolutely laughing. On the other hand, Saka's just got 1 double-digit return, but he's been more consistent. He's returned in more games. So Haaland's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so Haaland's got 7. Ødegaard's got the second most with 6. I am worried about Saka's ownership though. It's going to be really high, and I had no way to get him. So I'm a bit worried about that, but I'm happy to have Ødegaard. And if Arsenal can keep 1 clean sheet across the double game week, then I'm happy with that as well. I read that Partey is back in light training, so maybe he makes the team, maybe not. I also read that Leicester could be missing Maddison, so that would be good from a Gabriel owner's perspective if he misses the first game. Joseph Graham, thank you for becoming a member. Thanks for the support. If anyone's interested in becoming a member, you get early access to my videos. There's a private channel on Discord for members, and you get a little badge by your username. And obviously it supports the channel as well, so thank you to Joseph and all the other members in the chat. Loco Owner says, going Gakpo instead of Salah, is it crazy? Yeah, my gut feel is that Gakpo might not start in one of the 2 games. I've got a quote here from Klopp actually. I think this is a handy one to bring up. After the Real Madrid game, Ben Dinnery, Klopp said that he will make changes on Saturday, tomorrow's game. Liverpool kept the same 11 midweek against Real Madrid. He said there were some knocks after that game. He's not 100% clear at the moment. He says we have to make changes, and we want to make changes again. He's saying Konate's near, but he's only had 2 sessions after a long injury. So I don't know, obviously, who the changes will be. My gut feel is that we'll see Jota start 1 game, probably ahead of Gakpo. Van Dijk Matip probably starts in Gomez's place. Gomez had a really, really bad game, and I think he might have a hamstring problem. Maybe Elliott comes in for a game for Henderson. So I think I'd be tempted to err on the side of caution there of Gakpo. How are we doing, Father Ted? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you, mate. Welcome to the stream, John. Hope you're all well. Sorry if I've missed any of those messages. Good to see Matt's in the stream, Pavilas, Charbel. Anyone else on the -8? I think we'll run a poll for that in a minute. Once the stream's full house, we'll see how many people are on hits this week. I think there's going to be more people on hits than not. So if you're one of those, don't worry if you're having to take a -4 or even a -8. I'm one of those. It's one of those weeks where it's likely to be repaid, especially if you're selling a player who blanks. Sam's on a -4, Yash is on a -44. John might do a -12. -12. Did you guys watch the experts video from last night? None of them were rolling the transfer, and more were taking hits than weren't. Quite a few -12s. There was one -16. Yeah, it's going to be a crazy week for hits, that's for sure. Yeah, as soon as the deadline passes, we'll start this game week on a red arrow, but obviously the hope is that those points will be repaid by the time the game week's wrapped up next Wednesday. Carmen says, did you take a -8? I did. I've brought in Tarkowski, Trent, Salah and Darwin. -12, -8, -0. I envy anyone who's got a good team and hasn't taken a hit. Because I had the roll transfer and I still had quite a few fires to put out. Jim says, should I buy Iwobi or McNeil for a -12? It depends who you're selling. You know, if it's someone like Almiron who doesn't even play, then I would do it, absolutely. I prefer McNeil. There's not much between them, but I prefer McNeil because he's the one taking corners. He's on some set pieces. He got the assist a few weeks ago for Tarkowski's winner against Arsenal. But yeah, realistically, you're probably going to get 4 points from these guys, but it is what it is. Welcome, Leanne. How are we doing? Hope you had a good week. Tiziana says, confident Oscar. The last time I said I was confident, I had a horrendous game week. So I'm going to say no, not confident. The reverse jinx. Abady's on a free hit. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not surprised that there's some free hits active. My plan is to hold on to mine. Probably till game week 28 or 29. Something like that. Andreas, thank you for the 13 months. He says, -8 and you still have Haaland. Shaking my head. Time to move on. What do you mean? Of course I still got Haaland. What, because he blanked against Forest? No, yeah, I'm happy to keep Haaland, even though they don't have that double in 29, which is a shame. Arsenal and City don't double in 29, but yeah, happy to keep hold. But yeah, fair play anyone who sold Haaland recently after the slight drop-off, but I don't know who you'd bring instead. Maybe Darwin, but I wouldn't sell him before Bournemouth. That seems crazy to me. Master says he's rolling the transfer. He's got 15 fixtures already. Unbelievable. I haven't actually counted my fixtures, so I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 fixtures. Fair play, rolling the transfer. I mean, that's good, because if you can field a good team this week, then you can already look forward to Game Week 27 and target that week. You know, like Mitoma, Tony, those guys that double them. Delia didn't take any hits, but she's considering a -8 to get Trent and Iwobi. Interesting. It's crazy, isn't it? We're all looking at -8s for players like Trent when all season long Liverpool haven't been good defensively. And they've just conceded 5 to Real Madrid, but we are where we are. I've done it. I've sold Shaw to Trent for a -8. I think ordinarily it wouldn't make sense, but when it's a blank and a double, it's a bit easier to justify. I'd be happy with 1 clean sheet across the 2 games. And obviously with Trent, there's a chance he gets you something. Dimitri, thanks for the super chat. He says, to get Salah, I have to sell either Mahrez or Kane. What's your advice? Mahrez or Kane? If you don't own Darwin, I quite like the Kane to Darwin downgrade. If you can do that, I prefer that. That's what I did. I went Kane to Darwin and then Bruno up to Salah. We could even do both. Kane to Darwin and then Mahrez to Salah. Alright, here he is. Teddy's joined the stream. Sorry, there's not much room up here, Teddy. You're a bit bigger nowadays than you used to be. Speaking of Teddy, just before I went live, got a little clip of him here. I think he took a -16. He's trying to put on a brave face, but I think he's regretting it already. This is where he normally sits when I'm doing my videos. He just sits on my lap. Anyway, good luck to Teddy with his minus 16 hit. So, yeah, your question was Mahrez or Kane. If you can do Kane to Darwin, I like that. Basically, that's what it comes down to. Flandy says, booyah, latest transfer news, Maguire on loan to Liverpool with a must-start clause. Kings of the Gameweek Maguire. If anyone doesn't know what Flandy's on about, on Discord there's a channel called Kings of the Gameweek, and you have to guess who's the highest scorer is going to be. And if you get it, then you get an exclusive role. And Flandy always picks Maguire for some reason. I mean, one day it might come off. Ilias says, I'll be on a -8 for me to get Salah, Kane to Watkins and Amron to Salah. Is that worth it? Yeah, that's worth it. I think that's fine. Watkins is great. 4 goals in 4. Plays this week, plays in 28. That's fine. Kane to Watkins, Amron to Salah. Yeah, do it. Even for a -8, it's worth it. Max, thanks for the 5 gifted. Didn't spot that. Thank you, Max, for the 5 gifted. Those went to Rajanand, Shen, Simon, Yibin, and Fletcher. Thanks for the support, Max. Appreciate that. Unbelievable. Thank you so much. John says poll. John loves a poll. Okay, what's the first poll? How many hits are you on? I'm going to have to type one-handed, I think, because Teddy's on my lap. How many hits are you on? So hang on, 4, 8. So none, -4, -8, -12 or more. Yeah. Get your votes in. How many hits are you on? This is going to be really interesting to see, actually. Today's choice for this stream is, oh, you can't see it. It's Pepsi Max, no caffeine edition with a slice of lemon. What are you all drinking today? Hi, RCL Gamer. Hope you're well. How we doing? You're drinking water. Water. What? Alright, Ted. Water gang. Everyone's on the water. Is it just me on the Pepsi Max? Sam's on the Pepsi Max. Definitely not Prime. Coffee. Maximum taste, no sugar. Team H2O. Coke Zero. Vimto cordial. Vimto's nice. I quite like Prime. I don't know. I don't understand the hate on Prime. It's quite nice, I think. What do you lot think of Prime? 3 weeks sick. Get well soon, Craig. That's a long time. Will Mitrovic play? From what my understanding is, he's very unlikely to. I think he's only been back in very light training, so I don't think they'll risk him. So if I was a Mitro owner, I would be selling him. Ayush in the chat, he says KSI's Prime is so mid, just an overpriced Rubicon. I didn't even know you're still a member, Ayush. You're never in the members channel on Discord. Too cool for that. No, I don't mind it. Not all the flavours are good, but I don't mind Prime. Elliot says short of Van Dijk or Amron to McNeil. Ooh, that's tough. Can you not afford Robertson? I prefer Robertson, but I think I would do the Van Dijk move. Yeah, I think Van Dijk just edges it there. It's very close though. I'd say Van Dijk. He should start both games. Right, how many hits are you on was the poll. 21% are on none, or 20%. 37% -4. 34% -8. This is crazy. 8% are on a -12 or more. So 70 or 80% of you are taking hits. It's crazy game week. Draft channel is clear. Yeah, I can't argue with that. Right, let's do the news roundup very quickly. Cover off some of the talking points from the presses and so on. Quick Southampton update. They can confirm today that Ruben Selles has been appointed as the first team manager until the end of this season. They play Leeds, I think, this game week away. So we'll have to see if we see a new manager bounce. I suppose Leeds are also looking for a bit of a bounce after their drop of form. Big game for those two. Some Man City news. Guardiola was asked about De Bruyne and a few others, and he said he was asked if he doesn't expect De Bruyne, Laporte or Stones to make the squad for Bournemouth. He said De Bruyne maybe, the other two I don't think so. So Laporte and Stones unlikely to make the squad. If you're an Ake owner, I'd be tempted to start Ake. Still not guaranteed, but there's a fair chance that he starts because he's the only left-footed defender that Pep's got available to him now. But yeah, if you've got De Bruyne, you have to sell him for Salah. I think that's an easy move based on that comment. Ten Hag was unsure if Rashford would be fit for the final. Man United players who started last night only recently arrived at Carrington, and Rashford will be assessed. So the good news is that there's no game week for Rashford, so we don't miss out on him this weekend if he is out, but massive loss for the final if he is out. And hopefully if he is out, he's back for game week 26. Klopp said he'll make changes on Saturday. Liverpool kept the same 11 against Real Madrid midweek. Some knocks after that game, and he's not 100% clear yet. He said they'll have to make some changes, and we want to make changes again. So yeah, we talked about this one earlier a bit, and it could be Jota that comes in for Gakpo. I think Matip comes in for Gomez. Maybe Elliott gets a start. Maddison will be assessed ahead of the game against Arsenal after picking up an injury. I thought I'd include this one because if he does miss out, that's if it's just one game, that is quite good news for those that own Arsenal defenders. I'm a Gabriel owner. I know lots of people out there have got White. Some have Saliba, Zinchenko, Ramsdale. So if he does miss out, he'd be a big miss. And lastly, Everton news. Calvert-Lewin's building up well, but doesn't expect him to be available for the weekend. Patterson's return to training has been delayed due to a minor knock. So no Patterson, unfortunately. Really annoying, that one, because I picked him up with one eye on a potential double game week, but never came. How are we doing, FPL SP? Welcome to the stream. Let me catch up where I get to. Max says, you mentioned the Game Week 27 wildcard with Game Week 28 free hit and Game Week 29 bench boost in the Discord, but would you mind sharing your thoughts in a bit more detail? I'm still not sure. Yeah, definitely. So I've actually got a slide here from the experts video today, and this is just kind of a breakdown of some of the upcoming game weeks. You can't quite see that, can you? That's a bit better. So yeah, one option is you wildcard in Game Week 27. I don't know if you can see my mouse or not. No, yeah. Because that's a double game week for Brentford, Brighton, Crystal Palace and Southampton. Palace and Southampton I'm not interested in, but you could wildcard this week in Game Week 27, pick up some Brentford and Brighton players, so like Ben Mee, Mitoma, Tony, March, those sorts of players. Maybe Ferguson if he's playing for Brighton up top. And then you free hit in Game Week 28, which will be a really, really big blank game week, the biggest of the season. There won't be many games on, so it's going to be a really hard game week to get through without a chip if you use your wildcard that week. So you free hit into 28, and then your team reverts back to how it was in Game Week 27. So the idea being your Game Week 27 wildcard is also targeting Game Week 29. And that could work nicely because Brentford and Brighton also double in 29. So your team reverts back to how it was in Game Week 27. You've got potentially 4 players from Brentford and Brighton that double here and here, plus all these other players that double. So you could have like triple United, you could have Trippier, Botman, maybe like Watkins, something like that. So it is an opportunity, and potentially you could even bench boost in 29 as well. So 3 chips over 3 weeks. There's so much upside in that strategy. It's a good move. The other option is to use your free transfers to build up to Game Week 27 and 28, and then free hit in 29 instead. So you can still get out 11 players that double, and then your team reverts back, and you use free transfers to dead end your team in Game Week 32, because Game Week 32 is a big blank game week. You bring in players that you don't want long term just for that week, and then you wildcard in Game Week 33. Obviously the benefit to doing it that way round is that if you wildcard in 33, then you can target the doubles that are later in the season. It's hard to say which is better. There's no best strategy right now, but those are, in my view, probably the two best strategies. Elias says, what's the most points ever in the game week on FPL? I've actually got a screenshot of it. Let me pull it up really quick. I almost never get asked this, but I think I've got it in my FPL folder. The biggest score of all time. Where is it? Or did I move it? Oh yeah, there it is. This is a bit of a throwback, this one. This is how FPL used to look. I think it was in 2015-16. The biggest score of all time. You might have seen my video on it. I did a video about this game week. 226 points. It's the biggest FPL score of all time. Game week 34. I think it... Was it 2015-16? Or maybe further back than that. Maybe someone can correct me based on the screenshot. When Sanchez was at Arsenal, Payet. Is that further back? 2014-15 maybe. 226 points. That's the biggest score. So that's going to take some beating. I think last season we came close. Someone got something like 220, but that's the all-time record still. When was it? 2015-16 or 16-17? Yeah, dream game like that. Can you imagine the size of your green arrow? Yeah, to be fair, they took a -20. It's still technically the biggest score achieved though, if you see what I mean. But yeah, if you haven't seen that, there's a video on my channel of the biggest score of all time, with like up-to-date graphics, so give that a watch as well. Anyway, I haven't asked yet, we're well into the stream. If you're enjoying it so far, please drop the stream a like, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Appreciate you all being here. Good turnout for today's stream. 1,300 tune in, so yeah, we've got 149 likes. Add to that if you are enjoying the stream so far. I appreciate all your support. Keep the questions coming in. Let's have a look at the scout selection. For Game Week 25, they've gone for Pickford in goal. Back 3 is Trent, Gabriel, Dawson. Midfield 5 is Salah, Saka captain, Bowen, Gakpo and Iwobi. And the front 2 is Haaland and Nketiah. What do you guys think of the team? I'm not sure about Gakpo. I would have had Ødegaard probably, and maybe a different defender. Yeah, 47 points on a bench boost is ridiculous. Lewis to Tarkowski for -4. Yeah, I like that. I would do it. Robbo for sure, -8. If you're taking 2 hits just for Robbo, then no. If it's for 1 hit, then yeah, that's fine. I mean, there is a small chance Tsimikas starts a game, but I think it's an understandable hit to take this week, considering you might gain 2 fixtures, plus, you know, clean sheet potential and assist potential. Joey says he's got Greenwood, he won't play, and Mahrez won't play. Is it worth selling? And if so, for who? And Watkins Trent for Greenwood would be a -12. Watkins and Trent for Greenwood. Yeah, if you can get Watkins and Trent for Greenwood, I would absolutely do it. Even for a -12, I think that's justifiable. It's hard to say about knowing the rest of your team. Obviously, Mahrez is a worry. Foden was an unused sub, I think, in the Champions League. Mahrez played the 90, so yeah, maybe Foden starts. So I understand the worry. Yeah, and you're looking at the right players. Watkins makes sense. He plays this week. He's got Bournemouth in Game Week 28, guaranteed, which is a big blank. Trent doubles now. I would bring Watkins and Trent if you can. But I don't know how the moves will fit together with Mahrez as well. But yeah, I would do it. Even for a -12. It's one of those weeks where it's a double game week for teams. So if you're selling someone who won't play or may not play, then you're gaining 2 fixtures. So it's likely for that hit to be repaid, basically. What's my transfers? I made 4 moves. I went Patterson to Tarkowski, Shaw to Trent, Bruno Fernandes to Salah, and Kane to Darwin. How are we doing? Only for fun. Aren't you afraid no Saka? I am afraid, but I've been tripled up on Arsenal for ages. It just wasn't worth it. I had to sell players that don't play at all. I didn't have the luxury of selling someone who does play for Saka. And even then, I'd probably have to sell Gabriel. I don't know if that's worth it. For free, yeah, but my team was nowhere near being able to do that for free. I had players that blanked. So I had to prioritise that. The Flying Nature says, shorter Dawson or Kilman from -4 or play 10 only. Dawson or Kilman. I assume you've got Tarkowski already, because I like him more than Dawson and Kilman. Dawson or Kilman. I don't know if it's worth it for Dawson or Kilman. Because the thing is, Wolves might not play in Gameweek 28. That's not guaranteed. Whereas Tarkowski, it is guaranteed. He will play in 28. Albeit it is against Chelsea, but he is guaranteed to have a fixture. Whereas with Wolves players, sorry, Teddy's wriggling around. Their double game week isn't as good, in my opinion, compared to Everton's, and they don't necessarily play in 28. So I don't know if I would do Shaw for a -4 to Dawson or Kilman. No, I don't think I would. Should I wildcard this week? Says Shen. No, I wouldn't wildcard this week. I think there's going to be much better weeks to use it. Maybe Game Week 27 or 29. Hey Oscar, what's your fixture ticker plugin? Can I use it myself? It's called FPL Tools. It's a browser add-on on Firefox and Chrome. But that's just for the fixtures under the players. Everything else is something I've done myself, like the custom background and all that. Is -8 okay this game week? It's absolutely alright. Yeah, definitely alright. Chef AB says free hit 28, wildcard 29, bench boost 33. Yeah, that's definitely an option as well. Yeah, I don't mind that. But I just think, why not wildcard in 27? And grab Brighton and Brentford players then, because they double then free hit, and you still don't have to bench boost 29, but you'll gain quite a few extra fixtures if you wildcarded in 27 rather than wildcarding into the double game week. Ilias says, is Flex worth for... Huh? Is Flex worth for Mitro -12 doing it full team? Anyone understand the question? Flex. Someone help me out with that one. Oh, Felix. Is Felix worth for Mitro from -12 for a full team? I don't think it is. Chelsea have just not been good enough. I'd like to see a lot more from Chelsea before I consider going there for Felix. He is on my watch list, but I don't think it's worth it. I mean, there is a chance Mitro makes the game. You know, Chelsea have been poor, and they're playing away to Tottenham. Not for a -12. I wouldn't do it. Al-Mutari says, I've already done KDB, Bruno and Shaw for a -4 to Salah, Gakpo and Trent. I want to do Mudryk and Gabriel from -8 to Saka and Bueno. I already have Tarkowski. I don't think it's worth it. I mean, Mudryk has he even started? Did he start last game? I think he was benched, wasn't he? Oh, you want to sell him for Saka and Bueno. The thing is though, Bueno, he's not guaranteed to play both games either. I think he started last week, but the 2 games before, Aït-Nouri started. So I wouldn't do it. If you could afford like Tarkowski and Saka, then I understand it, but not for Bueno. I don't think I would do that. But if you're really worried about Saka and damage he could do, then fine. I mean, I'm in the same position and I'm sticking with Gabriel. It's not worth me taking another 2 hits to swap Gabriel to Saka. So I wouldn't do that personally, no. Should I captain Tarkowski? No, not for me. There's a lot of better options, I think. Salah's better, Saka's better, Ødegaard and Nketiah, maybe Trent. I'd put all of those ahead of Tarkowski. He's home to Villa, that's not bad, but away to Arsenal doesn't make sense. Why wouldn't you captain Gabriel if you want to captain a defender? He scored more goals this season. He's got a higher XG than Tarkowski. Better fixture pair. Brian, how we doing? He says Salah, Saka or Ødegaard captain. Can't choose. Well, I'm on Salah, and I think even if I had Saka, I'd still be on Salah. It is close though. It's really close, but I think Salah is the one. I'll refer to the projected points from FPL Review, which is always a good way of looking at it. And it is close. Salah, they've projected 12.5. Saka, 11.5. And I've talked about them lots in this week's videos. Obviously, they're playing the same position. They've both got a good double game week fixture pair. They're both on penalties, so they've both got a lot going for them. And it is really close, but I think I prefer Salah. Even if I had Saka, I'd still be on Salah. And I imagine he's going to have a lot more upside as well this week. Last game week in the top 100k, I read Salah's effective ownership was like 5%. Obviously, it's going to shoot up a fair bit this week, but I imagine it'll be much lower than Saka's still. So you also gain more if Salah delivers. If he can outscore Saka. Ilyas says, will Mitrovic be fit for this game week? I think he's a big doubt. Let me see if I can find anything on that. This is from 4 days ago. I don't know if this is the latest update or not though. If anyone has a more up-to-date update on Mitrovic, let me know. Marco Silva on Mitrovic. It looks really a minor injury, but I don't know if he'll be able to play the next game or not. But he'll not be weeks or something like that. I'm not sure. I don't think he will. I'm sure I read another update earlier that seemed to suggest he was a doubt for this game week. Maybe there's another update here. Ah, this might be it. Yeah, if anyone's not following FPL News on Twitter, I definitely recommend him. Oh, here we go. This is the one I saw today. Thanks if anyone also pointed out in chat. Silva on Mitrovic, he said it will be difficult for him to be ready for Wolves, but we have some time until tomorrow. Today he was on the pitch already. He was outside. Let's see the news tomorrow. There's an outside chance of playing. It will be difficult, I have to say. So, yeah, he seems like he's somewhat of a doubt, to be honest with you. But that's all we know. Michael Radley, thank you for the super chat. He says, hi mate, awesome content as always. I've done KDB to Salah, Shaw to Tarkowski and trips to Trent. Would you do Kane to Darwin from -8 on top of that or hold? Also, would you start Mings or Bueno? I think I'd give Bueno the nod, just about. Kane to Nunez for an extra hit from -8 on top. It depends on what your plan is for Game Week 28. The reason that I found it quite easy to justify is because Liverpool have a double now, but they also have a chance of playing in Game Week 28. This is that graphic I used earlier. This one here from Ben Crowlin is the blank percentage chances. So there is a chance, maybe 38% chance that Liverpool and Fulham is on. So for that reason, I quite like that there is a chance of me setting myself up well for 28 as well. The other thing at the back of my head is that Conte's obviously been out. I don't know if I can find this tweet on Kane that I posted the other day. Kane's shots in the box, the last 2 games, have been won in both games. And the last time that happened was back in Game Week 1. Here it is. So I just wonder if there is an opportunity to sell Kane here. One shot in the box in the last 2 games, 0.18 XG and 0.07 XG. Before that, it was Game Week 1, the last time that Kane took 1 in the box. So I basically asked, is Spurs missing Conte that much? And some people in the comments replies quite rightly pointed out that they're missing Bentancur as well. He's a massive miss, and he's out for the season. So it is a risk because he's been so consistent. But yeah, to answer your question, yes, I would do it. I would take the extra hit. And basically that was my thinking behind it, just to explain myself. Ali Basher says, hey Oscar, should I triple captain Salah this week or hold it? Yeah, I'd use it. I'd use it this week. Get it out of the way. We don't know what's going to happen later in the season. No one in Game Week 29 looks worth using it, even though it's a big double game week. Maybe Rashford, but they're away to Newcastle, home to Brentford. Not the best double game week, so I'll probably use it this week if I still had it on Salah. They will get answered, Dan Ball. I promise you. It's just I'm a bit behind on chat. I'm taking too long to answer questions. That's my fault. Thank you, Carliga, for becoming a member as well. Thank you for that. And Holly as well. Holly with the 10 gifted memberships. Thank you, Holly. What did she say? She says she's got 11 players this week, but no Saka or Salah. Captain Erdegaard, pray for me. Thanks for the great content, Oscar. Love the website. Thanks for the 10 gifted, Holly. Those went to Brian, Fen, Chef, Azri, Sander, Imran, Yash, Dan, Charlie, Partha, and Siddharth. Make sure to thank Holly in the chat if you did get gifted one. Thanks for that, Holly. I mean, I hope that Captain Erdegaard comes off because I've got him as well, and I've got no Saka, so I'm a little bit scared as well. But I was saying earlier, he's got 6 double-digit returns this season. I think he tweeted something similar earlier, and only Haaland's got more. So I think there's every chance that he outscores Saka. So I don't mind having Erdegaard. But yeah, I'm a bit worried about the damage that he could do. But thanks for that, Holly. Appreciate that a lot. Hopefully run into you again at an FPL meets whenever the next one is. Maybe March. Ilyas says he wants to replace Mitro because it's unlikely that he'll play this game week, but I'm really on a -8. Thoughts? I'm just not sure who's worth selling him for. Especially if you're in a -8. Like, who is there to go to? There's like Cunha from Wolves, but he's been really poor. Like, Nonto's got a single game week. If you can get to Watkins, then yeah, I'd probably just about do it for an extra -4. But other than Watkins, I can't think of anyone that's worth it. I mean, I'm assuming you don't have the funds for Darwin, basically. Russell says no free hit. He hacked game week 15. Bruno, Shaw, Patterson, Kane. You sold them for Salah, Trent, Tarkowski, and a forward. Should it be Darwin or Watkins for game week 28? Darwin. Yeah, I'd go Darwin. If I had a choice between Darwin and Watkins this week, it'd be Darwin. Keep Cuckoo or Patterson. I would sell Patterson as well. Again, with game week 28 in mind. It looks like Coleman's going to be first choice. So, Patterson's an absolute no-go. Cucurella might not be either, but I would prioritise selling Patterson. News on KDB, asks Arthur. Again, like, as always, Pep's been pretty coy, and he was asked, and he just said maybe when asked if he has a chance of making the team. You've already got Watkins. Yeah, there's no one then really. Like, Cunha, I don't think is worth it. Gnonto's not worth it. Darwin, I assume you can't afford. So I would just leave it and just roll with 10 players. It's not the end of the world. It's just that percentage chance that Mitrovic does play, right? And if he does, he's home to Wolves. You know, like Cunha, he might get 4 points. He might break even, but he might not. And you might lose points on that. And it's for someone who's been really poor. Start Andreas or Patterson? Andreas. Captain Erdegaard? Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I think Saka and Salah are better, but Erdegaard's fine. Can you run a poll for the amount of taken hits or max number of players this week? Yeah. We did one earlier actually on hits, but we'll do it again because there's more here now. So none. We'll do polls on captaincy as well in a minute. Get your votes in. How many hits do you want? Mohit says Kane to Darwin, Bruno to Salah, Mahrez to Gakpo, Martinelli to Saka from -8 worth it. Don't really trust Trent. I have Gabriel, Ake and Bueno. Yeah, I like those moves. The only thing I would say with Gakpo, based on Klopp's comments, I think there's a chance he maybe is benched for one, or maybe he comes off early at best, which is what's been happening anyway. Yeah, I suppose Foden might start right wing as well in Mahrez's place, so I think it's worth it, yeah. And to be fair, you could always move Gakpo straight on for someone like Mitoma in 26 or 27. So yeah, as far as -8s go, that's about the best you can do this week. Martinelli makes perfect sense to sell. I'd be looking to sell if I had him. Again, he might be benched for one game, might not be. But, you know, Saka just makes sense to get if you can. If I had Martinelli, I'd be looking for a route to Saka too. Oh, sorry, Omar. Hang on. Joe says he's priced out of Salah. Triple captain Saka or Ødegaard? Saka. I think Saka over Ødegaard. Sorry, Omar. Ask it again. I missed it. Completely missed it. Just ask it regularly in chat. You don't have to super chat. Captain Gakpo, Darwin or Ødegaard? Ødegaard. Love God says, still have my triple captain. When should I use it? I would use it now. I'd use it this week on Saka or Salah if you have either of those. If I still had mine, that's what I would do. There will be more doubles later in the season, but we don't know who for and when. So I would use it now on Salah or Saka if I still had it. Alexander had 1.9 million in the bank, so he went Martinelli to Saka. Good move, I like that. Gomez on my tip. Gomez might be injured. He went off holding his hamstring in the Real Madrid game. Mo Omar, if you're still here, ask your question again. I'm trying to spot it. Right, how many hits are you on? 19% none, 33% -4. 35% -8 and 12% -12 or more. So yeah, about 80% are taking a hit this week. King Grave says, hope you're all good, Oscar. I have Patterson and Mitrovic, and it's really not looking good. Who should I get in from -8? Hang on, is a -8 that bad of an idea? No, not at all. I mean, look at that poll results just now. 80% are on hits. It was like 33% on a -8. I saw Patterson for Tarkowski, so if you can do that, I would. It depends what you've got in the bank. If you can do Mitrovic to Darwin, I think that's the best striker move you can make. There's not really many options. Like Mitrovic to Watkins is probably what I would do, if you can afford that, and then Patterson to Tarkowski or something like that. Trying to spot Mo Omar's message. He says I missed a super chat, but I can't see his follow-up. Thanks for the super chat as well, Lee Zappas. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Thank you. Trent or Darwin? That's a really good question. What do you think, chat? Trent or Darwin? If I had to pick one, I think Trent just edges it. It would be on McNeil. Don't get City defenders. I totally agree. Akanji was such a mistake. I grabbed him. This is when I grabbed him here after 22. He'd been benched once all season, and then he was benched for 3 in a row. Oh, pretty divided. Darwin, Trent, Darwin over Trent. Rigid says Trent both matches. Yeah, I think that's a factor. I mean, I suppose this also applies to the rest of the team, but they're pretty much out of all competitions now, so Premier League is their focus, so everyone should look better for minutes. There's less rotation now. You would imagine, and if Gomez does have an injury, then that's one less player that could play right back. Right, new poll. How many double Gameweek players have you got? So what are the options? 5, 6. Wait, has anyone got more than 6? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I suppose that's right. 7, 8 plus. Not sure if that's the right amount to be using or not. It seems about right. 5, 6, 7 or 8 plus. Triple Saka, yeah, I like that. If I had the triple captain, I'd use it on Saka or Salah. Get your votes in. How many double Gameweek players have you got? Dave says, without Salah, Who would you captain, Saka, Darwin or Trent? Would I captain Saka? Yeah, I would captain Saka. Mo Omar says, I've already brought in Salah, Darwin with 2 free transfers, and that brings me to 11, including Mitro and Ake. Is it worth a hit to bring in Tarkowski or Watkins for short or trips? I think it is, yeah. I think it is. It'd probably be... You know, I'd be tempted to take a -8. As crazy as that sounds. Short to Tarkowski, Mitrovic to Watkins. I just think it makes a lot of sense because you gain 2 fixtures out of Tarkowski. He plays in 28 when Shaw doesn't. Same goes for Watkins. Mitrovic might not play, so you gain a fixture. He's in good form. I would do both if you can. Ake's fine. Sorry, oh no, you're asking about Ake or Shaw. I'd sell Shaw, I wouldn't sell Ake. Laporte's out injured, so I imagine Ake starts. It's still a gamble, but I think it looks likely that he starts, so I would keep Ake. Love God says, I still have my triple captain. When should I use it? Should I use it now? Yeah, if I still have my triple captain, I would use it this week on Salah. If you don't have Salah, then Saka's fine as well, but I would use it on Salah if I could this week. Because there's the double in 29. We'll just quickly pull this up again. It's a double for 12 teams. This one here on the right hand side, but there's no one here really that leaps out at me. Maybe Rashford, but he's away to Newcastle, home to Brentford. So I'd either use it on Salah now, or Saka now, or Rashford then. But I think Salah's probably the best of those 3 options. How many double Gameweek players have you got? 20% have got 5. 34% 6, 28% 7, and 19% 8+. Interesting. So 6 is the most popular amount. 10. You've got 10. Are you on a free hit? If I was on a free hit, I'd have 10. I'd still have Haaland, to be fair. No, I wouldn't triple captain Darwin. Seems too risky. Any early team news on Wolves? Let me check. Probably not. I'll double check if I've got anything. Well, my PC's humming. If I suddenly disconnect, then I'll be back. Nah. Nothing. There's one other source, but it'd be too much of a faff to have a look now, so I won't bother. Right, how long have we got? 45 minutes till the deadline. Thank you everyone that has tuned into the stream so far. I hope you're enjoying it. If you are, please drop a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I appreciate all your support. Thank you for being here. Dan says he's on a -4. Is it worth Martinelli and Mitro to Saka and Nonto from -12? Don't think it is. That's really tough to weigh up that one. I don't think it is. I don't think I'd do a -12 for Nonto. No, I wouldn't do it. Would you guys do a -12 to go Martinelli and Mitro to Saka and Nonto? I don't think I would. I mean, you're completely banking on Martinelli blanking and Saka putting up a really good return. Plus you're banking on Mitro not playing and Nonto getting you something, because he can't blank, otherwise you've lost points on that, because he's got a single, not a double. So I don't think I would. Akshay says bench 3 and play 2. Hang on, bench 3, play 2 of Kepa, Ward, Andreas, Kukureya and Patterson. So I'd play Kepa and I'd play Andreas. Bench Kukureya and Patterson. What's the song? This song's my cousin. I get asked this every stream. It's quite good, isn't it? I found out the other day my cousin's just started making music, and it's actually a banger for like his first tune. He's called Wilding on Spotify, and the song was called Boxer Meet Canvas. Box and meet canvas. Oh, I didn't mute Discord. Muted. There we go. Right. Keep the questions coming. What have we got? Is it worth a -4 for Salah instead of De Bruyne? Asks TGM. Yeah, it's worth it. If I had De Bruyne, I'd be selling him even for a -4. Which City winger to go for? I mean, it has been Mahrez, but not this week. I wouldn't grab a City mid this week. I just wonder if Foden gets a start in right wing. So maybe Grealish is the one. Interestingly, in Pep's presser, he was talking about Foden as if he was just competition for Mahrez and nothing else. Not Grealish, interestingly. Would you drop Kane for Darwin? That's what I've done. I've sold Kane for Darwin. I had to free up funds to go Bruno to Salah though, so it was kind of in combination for me. But I think it's fine to do that. Right, let's have a quick look at the Kings of the Game Week. Get your guesses in the chat. Who's going to be the top scorer of Game Week 25? We're looking for the top scorer of Game Week 25. No one got it last week. Not one person got it. It was Coleman. Coleman last Game Week. No one guessed him. Get your guesses in. Who's going to be the top scorer in 25? Rico Lewis, says Ruben. I'll be gobsmacked. I'll delete my channel if it's Rico Lewis. Salah, Robertson, Kilman, Firmino. Don't know about Firmino. Will he even start a game? Maybe one. Salah, Erdegaard, FPL Raptor, Trent, Nunez. Oh, a lot of Erdegaard shouts. That's what I like to see. As an Erdegaard owner, it's good to see lots of people back in Erdegaard. Van Dijk or Matip. Haaland. Oh, you know what? That'd be such a troll if after all is said and done, it's Haaland. Jorginho. Maybe. If Partey's out, maybe. Nick Pope. I can't believe that. Did you guys see about that? About Dubravka? Because Dubravka was on loan from Newcastle to Man United, and then he got recalled. But now he's cup tied, so he can't play in the final. But because he played in the cup for United, he can only win the trophy or a medal or whatever if Newcastle lose, his own team. Which is a bit wild. So Dubravka actually needs his team to lose to get a medal, to be recognised as a winner. Bizarre. So it's Karius, I think, who starts in goal in the final. I really, in a way, I wouldn't mind if Karius got his redemption, because he had that howler, didn't he, in the Champions League final, infamously. I just don't want him to have a howler in 2 finals, even if he has a solid game and loses. Fine. Joss is a threat to Gakpo, says Brian. Yeah, I agreed. You're dead right. And based on Klopp's comments, there is a chance that Jota starts the game. Who do you guys think is the most transferred in player this week? Have a guess. Most transferred in player. No, I wouldn't sell Ake for a hit. Laporte's out injured, so I would keep Ake, and I wouldn't be selling him for a hit. Oh, you all know. It is Salah. These are the live numbers. So 778,000 sales as of 5:51 PM GMT UK time. Tarkowski second, 629,000 sales. Gakpo, interestingly, up there. I think he was top at one point, but he's dropped to third. 4 Liverpool players in the top 5. And 6 in what is that, the top 8? Saka's up there, Watkins, Alisson, Robbo, Iwobi. It's a double game week for Everton when players like Iwobi and Coleman and Pickford are among the most transferred in. And Ruben and Neves as well. What's Leno doing up there? Who's bringing in Leno? Alright, what about the most sold then? Can you guys guess who the most transferred out player is? Sam Brooks doesn't have Salah. It's not the end of the world. If you've got Saka, if you've got other good players covered like Erdegaard, Gabriel and Nketiah, then I think it's fine. Actually, I actually don't know who the most sold is. I haven't even looked. What do you think? Shaw, De Bruyne, Trippier, Bruno, Almiron. Oh, Almiron. Don't get me started on him. Let's find out. Most sold. Refreshing it. Oh, it is De Bruyne. I think it was Trippier, and then I hit refresh, and it updated. It is De Bruyne, 629,000. So yeah, if any of you are watching this stream and you've got De Bruyne or Bruno, I would definitely be looking to sell them for Salah if you can. It's probably easier for the KDB owners. Trippier's up there, Almiron, Tony, Shaw. Interesting that so many are selling Tony despite his double in 27. That is surprisingly high. Interesting. Joey says, hi Oscar, I've got Tarkowski, Gabriel and Nico. Should I do Shaw to Mikalenko so I have 11 players? I'm assuming Mahrez starts. I mean, it is an assumption, and you know, knowing Pep, that's probably a bold assumption. Foden could start, I don't know. Should I do Shaw to Mikalenko? I don't know if I'd double up on Everton defence, but I suppose to get 11 out. And I assume you can't get to someone like Trent or Robbo. I know that's like a big notch up in price. I think I would do it unless you plan to free hit in 28. I think it's one of those. If you plan to free hit 28, then it's less relevant. I'd like to save my free hit that week if I can. Maybe use it in 29, in which case Tarkowski is quite useful. And that's why I ended up grabbing him this week, even as part of a -8. You should be alright with Nico. I think I read Ori is out, so Nico looks alright this week. And they've been good defensively, so you never know. His attacking numbers were good early in the season as well, so maybe Nico owners get something. But yeah, I think I would do it. Yeah, I think I would get Mikalenko for a -4, even if it's for a -4, even for a -8 to be honest, because you don't have 10 playing. You don't have 11 playing, sorry. Alvarez or Watkins? Watkins. Trent to Shaw or Trippier? I'm assuming you mean the other way around. And I would sell Shaw because Trippier plays in 28. Pickford or Ramsdale? Ramsdale. If you can get Ramsdale still, if he's still not tripled up on Arsenal, then Ramsdale. Holy Dave Boy, thank you for the massive super chat. That's comfortably the biggest super chat I've ever received in a stream. I don't know what to say. That's crazy. Thanks for that, Dave. Appreciate that a lot. Thank you so much. That's crazy. He didn't even put a message in. Let me check if he said anything in chat. Yeah, Dave, what an absolute mad lad. I agree. And he asks, is Mitrovic playing? So, let me find the quote from earlier. He's a doubt, basically. He's a big doubt. If I was to guess, I would say he doesn't play. I'm just going to try and find the quote, and I'll tell you what Marco Silva had to say about Mitro. So this, I think it was this here. Let me just pull up this quote. So Marco Silva on Mitrovic's injury return. This was yesterday that he was asked this. He said last few days he was already outside doing some individual work. Tomorrow we're going to make a decision. I think there's a quote before this as well. Hang on. Oh yeah, so first he said it will be difficult for him to be ready for the Wolves game tonight. We have some time till tomorrow. Today he was on the pitch already. He was outside. Let's see the news tomorrow. There's an outside chance, but it will be difficult, I have to say. So we just don't know, to be honest. Based on that, based on him saying it'll be difficult, I imagine he doesn't. Dave in for a -4. Dave in for a -4. Even for a -8. Yeah, based on those comments, it's really hard because managers just lie all the time. Marco Silva's infamous for that. Hopefully the mic's not picking that up. Teddy's snoring. Shall I mute the mic, see if you can hear it? Don't know if you can hear that or not. He's snoring. Anyway, you don't care, do you? I mean, I'm going to keep an eye out, Dave, because we might get some kind of early news. If I had to guess, I'd say he doesn't play. Sorry, that's not a clear answer that you'd want, but we don't know basically. I mean, stick around in case we get a leak. Could you hear it? No, I didn't fart. Teddy's on my lap snoring away. You say you wonder what that was? Yeah, that's Teddy. Yeah, FPL leaks. I'll keep an eye out for a leak. Noah says I care. Bless him. I don't know if it's picking it up or not. It's really loud for a little chihuahua. Ake or Patterson to Trent. Patterson all day. Keep Ake. Lee says Salah and Watkins for Mahrez and Kane for -8. Add Robertson for sure for -12. I can't get to Trent. I bought in Darwin and Tarkowski last night for Mitra and Doherty's and free transfers. Salah and Watkins, Mahrez and Kane. I think I would. Yeah. You know, we're talking about Kane earlier. His numbers have dropped off a lot recently. Maybe because there's no Conte. Maybe because there's no Bentancur. Salah's got a double game week. Watkins is in form. He plays in 28 as well against Bournemouth. I would do it for a -8. Robert for a -12. I would also do that, to be honest with you. I would take the -12. As crazy as it sounds, like ordinarily I would never be doing crazy hits like that. I'm on a -8 myself. Shen says Dave's my captain for the game week. There we go. Northbank Gunas says short to Tarkowski from -8 with 2 transfers already. I think I would do it, yeah, I would. Yeah, I would do short to Tarkowski from -8. Again, which is crazy to say, but unless you have 11 players that you can field. But I think people who are looking at -8s are looking to get an 11 players, get 11 out. So yeah, I would do it. Akanji starts. No idea. It's way too early to say. Probably not. Marcus says Iwobi or Neves. I actually think McNeil. Teddy snores are louder than mine. Is it actually picking it up? Could you hear that? Unbelievable. He's the tiniest dog you'll ever see. Hopefully it's not too loud, or I might have to tell him to go to his actual bed. What was I saying? Completely thrown off now. This stream's falling apart. Yeah, no, I don't know if Akanji starts. For those there's lots of questions about triple captaincy. If I still had the chip, I would use it on Salah, first choice, Saka, second choice. Mad snores. It's quiet. Okay, good. Amy says Tarko for short or me for a -8, but asset value 10 play him. I think it makes sense to sell Shaw for Tarko rather than me, because me doubles in 27. Even for an extra hit, it just makes sense to get 11 out. So I would do it, yeah. He's knocked out. He is knocked out. That's crazy. Is this a free hit? No, it's not a free hit. This is just my regular team. If anyone's not seen the experts video from yesterday, there's a really good free hit team in that. Give that a watch if you've not seen it. Top 5 captain picks. So I would say Salah, Saka, excuse me, Odegaard, Nketiah, and then probably Trent or Darwin. I've got the projected points from FPL Review for those interested. This is how they've given it. In fact, it's the same 5. I mean, Darwin and Ødegaard are close here. Gabriel, but I wouldn't captain Gabriel. I think everyone's got at least one of the top 3 or 4. So I would go there. TIC says, will I survive no Saka? I think it depends on your other assets. Like, I've got Nketiah, Ødegaard, Gabriel. In theory, that should be enough to cover me. That should be fine. It wasn't... Was it last game week or the game week before? But in theory, it should be. I'm happy to have those 3, and it wasn't worth me taking a hit to sell any of them. So, yeah, I was more than happy to have those. Right, we've got under half an hour till the deadline. We've got 420 likes, 1,400 tune-ins. So hit like if you're enjoying the stream. Add to that like count. Let's see if we can get it anywhere near 1k. Appreciate you all tuning into the stream. Hope you've enjoyed it so far. As I say, I'll keep my eyes out just in case we get anything as far as leaks or any news on Mitrovic or Wolves or anything like that. I don't suppose many have got players tonight. Have any of you got anyone playing tonight? And if so, who have you got? Bench Ake over Bueno. I think I'd start Ake based on Laporte's injury. Kilman, Bueno. Yeah, it must be mostly defenders playing tonight. Ream. Oh yeah, Andreas. Oh yeah, I've got someone tonight. I've got Andreas. Oh, I might watch the game after all. Watching like the worst fixture. No offense like to Fulham and Wolves fans, but I mean, this is the thing about FPL, and this is why it's such a great tool for the Premier League, because it makes you invested in games that you otherwise would absolutely not care about. I've got no investment in Fulham or Wolves normally. I'm an Arsenal fan, but maybe I'll stick it on. You know, if Mitrovic is out, by the way, Andreas is on penalties. Imagine that. Imagine Andreas taking a pen tonight. That's what we want on a Friday night. Watching a game like that, to see one of our guys take a penalty. Do a poll of captaincy, says Shen. Let's do that. Good shout, good shout. Who's your captain for Game Week 25? So we'll go Salah, Saka. Who are the other options? Ødegaard and other. There you go. Get your votes in. Malboa, thanks for the 10 gifted. This stream's been crazy. What is going on today? Thank you so much. Malboa, a regular of the stream. He's gifted before as well, so thank you as always to the support. And I remembered you this time, because last time you donated super memberships, you changed your name, and I didn't know it was you again. Thank you, Malboa. Thank you so much for that, mate. Appreciate that. If you got one, make sure you shout. Thank Malboa. He went to Tiziano, Donald, Godwin, Bramia, Danny. Oh, Danny got one. Danny's always in the comments in my videos. This is the thing, by the way. I start to recognise names. You know, those of you that leave comments and so on, I'll tune into my streams. But really good. Craig, Kieran, and S also got one. Thank you for that, Malboa. Unbelievable. And he's renewed the membership for 4 months as well. He says, you're most welcome, Oscar. Hope you're well, mate. I'm doing well. I'm doing really well. I'm playing football this Sunday. It's a trial match. And I've been eating healthy all week in anticipation. And I've lost £6 since last Monday. So in like 10 days. Can you hear Teddy snoring? This stream is an absolute mess. I'm so sorry. It's all over the place. So I'm feeling good this week. I've lost quite a bit of weight. I played football on Wednesday this week as well and had a really good game. So I was buzzing after that. Tomorrow it's my mate's birthday, so I'm out in London. I'm not going to go too crazy because I'm playing football on Sunday morning. But yeah, hopefully the trial goes well, and then I'll be playing an FPL charity match at the end of the season. Those asking about my moves, a few questions about my moves. I've gone Patterson to Tarkowski, Shaw to Trent, Bruno to Salah, and Kane to Darwin, -8. Oh, I should tweet my team. Let me do that. That's a good point. Thanks for the reminder. Just take a screenshot of that. Let's get Twitter up. Game week 25. Let's get a little arrow going. Arrow emoji. So it was Shaw, Patterson, Bruno, Kane to Tarkowski, Alexander-Arnold, Salah and Darwin. Ready for more Akanji pain. There we go. Should I add a little calendar emoji? It's getting a bit fancy now, isn't it? There we go. How about that? Is that good? I think that's my move. Shaw, Patterson, Bruno, Kane, Tarkowski, Alexander-Arnold, Salah and Darwin. Boom. Lovely. Right, captain poll results. 54% are on Salah. Interesting. 35% are on Saka. 7% Ødegaard and 4% other. If anyone went other, who did you go for? Who's your other? Haaland. Oh, I don't mind that at all, you know. I mean, I think a double game week makes more sense, a double game week player, but you never know. Haaland against Bournemouth. Over the season, they're third worst for XGC. Trent. Yeah, Trent's a good shout. Is Patterson 100% out? Yeah, Dyche said he's had a setback to returning to training, so based on that, yeah, I would say he's out. Maybe he has a chance of making the Arsenal game. Sheriff says, free hitting in Game Week 28. Watkins, Darwin or Felix better long term? If you're free hitting 28, then Darwin, because he's got an extra fixture over the other two. Watkins has got the best fixture in 28, I suppose. Is that right? Or maybe Liverpool's probably as good as well, but Darwin's got an extra fixture, so Darwin. David Burgos says he's on a -4. Ward to Pickford or Kane to Darwin or both. No, I wouldn't do Ward to Pickford, I don't think. I don't think I'd take a -4 on a goalkeeper when you have a keeper playing anyway. You know, like Ward could rack up loads of save points against Arsenal. So Kane to Darwin, I think that's fine. I would do that. I think I'd roll the dice and go Kane to Darwin. Again, we talked about Kane earlier, and there's been a massive drop-off in his underlying numbers the last couple of games. And I tweeted the other day, I said, is that as a consequence of Conte being out at the moment? Obviously, Bentancur's out for the season. He's a massive miss. Could be a few factors at play there. And it probably has less of an effect, but they've lost Lloris as well. He was the captain, a leader in the dressing room. But yeah, I think it's okay to take a gamble on Kane to Darwin myself. Darwin or Watkins? Darwin. Martinelli to Saka -4. Yeah, I would do that. Pratik says, hey Oscar, 5 million in the bank. Who would you bring in for Almiron and Mitro? Keeping 28 in mind. KDB to Salah completed. 5 million in the bank. Mitro to Darwin. I don't know what midfielders you can afford. Almiron to McNeil. So probably that. Mitro to Darwin, Almiron to McNeil. There's not many options as far as the budget mids. Like Gakpo, mate, but I don't know if you can afford him, and does he start both games? If you can afford him, I'd probably get him. Otherwise, McNeil and Darwin. I wouldn't get Gakpo instead of Salah, no. I wouldn't do that. Gakpo or McNeil. Gakpo. Salah Kanji. If you've got 11 players and he's your 11th and no other pressing moves, then yeah, get rid of him. He's an absolute nightmare. But otherwise, no, not for a -4. I'm just going to take a chance that he plays. No leaks on tonight's lineup. I'll keep checking. I don't know if we'll get anything, to be honest with you, but I'll keep looking. Ake or Tarkowski. Tarkowski. Keep De Bruyne. I'd sell De Bruyne for Salah if you don't have Salah. Get rid. He could play, and obviously it's a very good fixture for City, but Pep was asked today whether De Bruyne will play, and all Pep said was maybe. He missed the Champions League game. He wasn't in the squad at all because he was ill, so to me that seems like easy justification to sell him. Lord Bentner says it won't be all McNeil. I wonder if we've got the Man City predicted lineup. So let's see if we have that. That's Arsenal's. Don't want that. City. There we go. Man City predicted lineup. This is from Jump the Wave on Twitter. She pulls together like predictions from a bunch of City fans. So let's see what they've got. I mean, 39% to Kanji. Alvarez 55%. Maybe he starts ahead of De Bruyne. De Bruyne 39%. This is what the City fans are predicting. Ake's 96%. Because obviously Laporte's out, so he's 0%. Walker's quite high up there. Foden. So where's Mahrez? 75%. It's going to be 2 out of the 3. Foden, Grealish and Mahrez that start. I wonder if it might be Grealish and Foden, Mahrez bench, since he played 90 in the midweek and Foden was an unused sub. Right, is there anything else you want me to... anything else you want me to poll, guys? Any polls to do? Captain poll was 55% Salah, Saka 35%, 7% Ødegaard, and 3% other. 15 minutes till the deadline. The Lion said meow. Darwin is the most chaos ball forward I've ever seen. He is chaos. I had him earlier in the season and he was just an absolute nightmare. Massively underperformed his XG. He's looked a bit better recently. Triple captain poll. Alright, John loves a poll. We'll do a cap. You got a chip active. No. Free hit. Triple captain. No one's bench boosting, I imagine, so. Wild card. Right, there we go. What should I do with Bruno and KDB? I would sell Bruno for Salah if you can, otherwise De Bruyne to Salah. Kane to Darwin for -4. I think I would do it. I mean, I've done it. But mine was to help fund Bruno to Salah, but I'd be tempted anyway, if I'm honest. Will Patterson play? No, almost certainly not. Patrick, thank you for the super chat. No message with that one, but thank you, Patrick. No Mitro news. I'll keep an eye on in case we get any leaks, but I don't know if we get anything. I don't know if we've had Fulham leaks before. That's the thing. Let me check my phone. No. Donald says, did I get a gift? You did. It might have been Holly. She gifted 10. Malboa gifted 5. Someone gifted 5 as well. The very start of the stream. I forget the name now. It's terrible. I'm forgetting names. But yeah, if you've got a membership and you didn't get it yourself, then yeah, it was gifted. If anyone is interested in becoming a member, you do get some perks, by the way. It's not just to support the channel, but you get early access to my videos. You get a badge by your name. There's a private channel on Discord. If anyone wants to join the Discord, link below in the description for that. Darwin's not essential, no. He's not essential. John says, guys, let's get 1,000 likes. We're at 536. We're actually a long way off. Wait, is that up to date? Yeah, it is. 536. 1,500 tuned in. I hate the whole asking for likes thing, but it makes a massive difference in the YouTube algorithm. Like, if someone else has got more likes, that's not the only thing that the algorithm looks at, but if someone's got more likes and stuff like that, then it like moves your content below theirs. Right, keep your questions coming in. We've got 10 minutes or so. Malboa says, hit the like, ladies and gents. Thanks, Malboa. Captain Salah or Erdegaard? I've got both, and I'm on Salah, so that's my answer. Should we take a -12 to get Patterson out? If he's your 11th player and you have to start him, then I actually think it's worth it, yeah. I did Patterson to Tarkowski as part of a -8, and I think it's fine if you have to take an extra hit on top of that. Alfie says, thanks for that Patterson news, although it has just forced me to -12. Yeah, I mean, we did a poll earlier, and 80% of you watching this are taking a hit. So if anyone's in that 20%, fair play if you're making it through this week without a hit, because there's a lot of people above you that are going to shoot down below you after these hits in the rankings. So if anyone's not on a hit, you start this game week on a nice green arrow before a ball's even been kicked. Sigurd says Martinelli to Salah, Mahrez to Ødegaard, Kane to Darwin, -4. Yeah, I like those moves. Those are really sharp moves. Martinelli to Saka, excellent. Mahrez to Ødegaard, I like it. Obviously, if Mahrez starts, he could do well against Bournemouth, but you're getting a double game week, and you're getting a game week 28 fixture. I guess you're retaining the triple up, and then Kane to Darwin. I guess you need to do that to fund it, but I think that's fine anyway. Good moves. Yeah, do it, Sigurd. Do it. Bueno or Andreas? That's really tough. I think I'd give it to Andreas. Arthur says, is Bueno a decent starter? He's okay to start. I'm just not sure if he starts both, which one he starts if he does get one. You know, there is a chance he's benched tonight and then he starts away to Liverpool, I think it is. I think I'd go Andreas. I mean, like I said earlier, there's a chance, if Mitrovic is out, there's a chance that he's even on penalties. We've seen him take one before. I think it was against City, was it? Yeah, back in Gameweek 15, Mitrovic missed that game. Fulham won a penalty, and it was Mitrovic. It was Andreas that took it and scored it. I mean, it's unlikely that they get a penalty, and there's a chance Mitro plays, but still. Mark Mistel says, how many chips do you see yourself using Gameweek 27 to 29? It's going to really depend on whether Liverpool play in 28 or not. So there's a 62% chance of that becoming a blank. If Leeds beat Fulham, then Leeds are the one that blank in 28 along with Wolves, and Liverpool and Fulham will play in 28. Ideally, I want to save a chip that week. I'd like to free hit maybe in 29 or wildcard 29, something like that instead. The other option is that you wildcard in 27, free hit 28, and bench boost 29. So anywhere between 1 and 3 chips, basically. Right now, I can't really answer. It depends on what happens next week in the FA Cup. So a week today, the landscape will be clearer. Right now, it's just hard to say because we don't know what the Game Week 28 fixtures are like. And obviously, there could be an upset. I'm talking all about those 2 fixtures. There are other games. There could be an upset, which might make it easier to get through 28 without using a chip. So yeah, anywhere between 1 and 3. Have you got a chip active was the poll. 83% no. 7% free hit. 6% triple captain. And 3% are on a wild card. So what's that? 16%, 17% are using a chip. FPL Josh says he's on a -8. Mitro, Patterson to Mopo and Tarkowski. Been risky. It is a bit risky, but I guess Mopai, yeah, because Sims was terrible against Liverpool, so I think Mopai's first choice. Will he get anything? I mean, I don't think he scored like once this season, has he? Yeah, I can understand it. Patterson won't play. Mitro might not. Nothing as far as leaks. I'll keep an eye out. I don't know if we'll get any, like I say. Andreas or De Bruyne? If that's who to start, De Bruyne. FPL 1 says, thoughts on me taking a Kanji out for Trent for -4. Yeah, I like that. Good move. Yeah, do it. Play Bueno or Andreas. I think I'd take a chance on Andreas, just because you know he's going to start. Bueno might not. And like I said earlier, Andreas might be on penalties if Mitro's out. Or he will be if Mitro's out. Unless for some reason someone else took it this time. Will Cucurella play? I don't think he even made the squad last game week, did he? It was Chilwell. So it's impossible to say, really. It's a gamble. You know, we can't say for sure that Chilwell starting meant his first choice because Cucurella wasn't even in the squad. So it's 50-50 that one. Iwobi or Andreas. Again, if that's who to start, Iwobi. Back to double game week. Patrick says Mitrovic to Watkins or Felix -4. It's so hard to answer this one because we just don't know if Mitrovic starts tonight or not, or if he's even in the squad. I mean, does anyone know if he's travelled? It's home, isn't it? So that doesn't make sense. He's got nowhere to travel. Yeah, there's been no leaks, so it's so hard to say. I think I would do it. I think I'd do Mitrovic to Watkins, not Felix. I'd grab Watkins. He's probably like the most informed forward right now. 4 goals and an assist in his last 4. He's scored in each of his last 4 games. He plays against Bournemouth in Game Week 28, so it makes sense. Whereas Fulham, they stand a good chance of blanking in 28. He might not play tonight. I think I'd do it. Malboa says, thank you as always, Oski Legend. Good luck and fingers crossed for the green arrows. Yeah, fingers crossed for some green arrows. I'm hoping this will be a nice rank swing upwards, but you never know what you're going to get in a double. The last one was woeful. Even though my team looked great on paper, no one really returned except Haaland, and everyone's got him. So let's see. Five minutes till deadline. I'm keeping an eye out just in case anything comes through, but again, I don't know what the chances are. While we're waiting, if you have enjoyed the stream, hit like on it. 650 now, so if you have enjoyed the stream so far, the content I prepare for these streams, then please feel free to add to that. Missed your super chat. I thought I got it. It was the question about Watkins, and no, Akanji to Trent, and I said yeah. I said I would do that. Yeah, I would do Akanji to Trent, 100%. Nicola says, triple captain Salah, what do you think? Yeah, I like it. If I still had the chip, I would use it on Salah. Failing that, Saka. If I didn't have Salah. Was it a new one? Sorry. Yeah, it was Akanji to Trent -4, and I said, yeah, I'd do that. Yeah. Shaw to Robertson -4. I would do that as well. It's a bit risky. It's a bit risky because there's a chance Tsimikas gets a game, I suppose. Klopp's hinted at making some changes, but I would do it, yeah. I would do it. Seen a lot of people bringing in Robertson and Trent this week, and it's understandable. They've got a double game week. You can sell players who don't have a fixture at all, so theoretically you should gain a minimum of 4. You never know if Liverpool concede 2 or something like that, and that doesn't happen. But yeah, the message this week is that it is the week to take hits. Don't be afraid to take -4s, -8s, if it makes sense. Just to mention my moves one last time, I went Patterson to Tarkowski, Shaw to Trent, Bruno to Salah, and Kane to Darwin, -8. I rarely take -8s, but it made sense this week to get hopefully 11 players. But I'm ready to hurt again with Akanji. He's hurt me so much recently, I'm used to it. So it could happen again. We'll see what happens when the City lineup drops. Absolutely nothing though as far as early news on Fulham and Wolves. Like I said, I wasn't expecting anything. So, yeah, sorry for those that are wondering about Mitrovic. I just don't know if he starts or not. To answer Nicola's question again, and anyone else that's got the triple captain, if I still had it, I would use it on Salah. If I didn't have Salah, I'd use it on Saka. Other than that, I'd probably save it for Rashford in Gameweek 29 when he's got Newcastle and Brentford. But yeah, if I had it, I'd use it now. Ake to Coleman from -8. No, I wouldn't sell Ake as part of -8. Laporte should be out for this game week, and Pep loves having a left-footed centre-back on the left-hand side, so his options are Ake or Laporte. So yeah, for that reason, I would give Ake the nod, basically. It's almost time, says Pelisan. We've got 1 minute. Final reminder to make sure your team's locked in. I was going to say bench in the right order, but I think no one's got a bench this week. Captaincy and vice captain sorted. It's been a good stream. Hope you have all enjoyed it. Yeah, I've enjoyed it. Hope you all have a good weekend as well. Who are we raiding? Who's live that we can raid? I saw FPL Blackbox alive. We could head over to Blackbox. They rarely do deadline streams, and they're such a great channel that I think it'd be good to head over there. What do you guys think? Blackbox? I don't know if Mark joined as or not. Let's have a look. Mark as and Gianni. Yeah, we'll head over to Blackbox. So yeah, if you enjoyed the stream, please do hit like on it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're going to head over to Blackbox. We'll do a Focal raid. Tell them Focal sent you. Send them my love. Everyone head over to FPL Blackbox's stream. I'll see you over there. I'll pin the message. Thanks again for tuning in to the stream. Focal out.